Hey guys! So it is day 7 of VEDJ, which means, what is it, Tuesday? I don't even know. It's a topic Tuesday, so I get to whip out this wonderful hat again. This time I will be drawing one of the blue slips of paper, which will be a topic for me to rant about. Just FYI, there's only like 4 topics in there right now, so if you have any ideas of things that you want to hear me rant about, let me know. But today, I will be ranting about sucky school! Yay! I didn't know what to call this, so great, now I have to come up with a name for it. I guess I could call this like the peak of my college career. You know, some people, like, the hardest year for them is their junior year, some people it's even their senior year, but yeah, sophomore year was definitely the hardest for me, and then since then it's been like a downhill slope. So we're gonna talk about how to avoid having the most awful college peak of your life. I'm a pretty, like, good student. I generally, you know, I'm that annoying kid who's like, you're like, oh yeah, I'm really excited that I got a B on my test, and I'm like, oh man, I got a B too. That sucks. B's are terrible. And you just like want to punch me in the face? Yeah, that's me. It can be very annoying from the other side, but it can also be very stressful from my perspective because I feel poopy if I don't get an A on literally everything, and I like take myself way too seriously in that regard. But yeah, basically my sophomore year, you know, it was my first full year in K-Sci, so I got an office. And it's kind of an office that people don't really take seriously. People act like treasurer isn't a very hard office, but like when you've inherited years of debt, it's just kind of stressful, especially when you're not the kind of person that likes to be in debt yourself. You're like, oh, I don't want this for the fraternity, so I like kind of worked myself maybe a little bit harder than I should have, trying to please everyone and trying to make sure all the fundraisers were really good. We do a fundraiser where we make cool t-shirts and sweatpants and stuff for the band, and then they got mad that it didn't show up when they wanted it to, and I just felt like I was letting everyone down, and so I just let myself get way too stressed out over that. And the other aspect to my sophomore year that made it really terrible was some of the classes I took. I took 2 of these Spanish classes that were just ridiculously hard. That's really all there is to say about him. The teacher, I love the teacher, really, generally, but when she teaches that class, she just makes it so hard. And I guess it is a lot of information to cram into one thing, but goodness gracious, it was just not a pleasant experience. And I think I got a B in the first one, and then the second class I took of hers, I got an A, and I was very proud of myself. So I guess part of this video is going to be how I managed to learn from my mistakes that I made in that first class and wind up doing a little bit better. So when I was in that first class, for one thing, I just really let it get to me. Like, it's like time management is seriously very important. The assignments for that class were not something you could do the night before, but when I first took her classes, I tried to do them the night before, and it just didn't work. They were like 5 hours worth of homework. Like, you can't do that in one night without, like, crying every time you do it, and that's what I did. I just, like, was miserable, and it was terrible, and Eric would be there just like, I'm so sorry you have to deal with this, and I'm like, it's okay, but it wasn't okay because I was miserable. And another thing was, like, I would get really, really stressed out, and then I feel like my immune system would just like be terrible, so then I would get sick, and then I would miss school, and that made it worse. I actually, when I was in this first Spanish class, I used literally all of my absences because it was early in the morning, like I wanted to sleep, and when I was sick, I definitely needed to skip it or else I was gonna be miserable. And like seriously, normally I'm like a very healthy person. My entire junior year, I didn't get sick once. I think my freshman year, I didn't get sick once. But my sophomore year, I got sick like 3 times in the last semester alone. Like, it was terrible, and it was because of this class, and it was because like I was stressing myself out so much, and that's not healthy. So step 1, like, seriously take care of yourself. I saw this thing recently that was like, tips for your freshman year, and one of them was like, never ever skip class. There's no such thing as a sick day. I don't care if you're throwing up all over the place. Take a trash can and go to class. No, that's terrible. Like, literally, if there's anything I learned that year, it's if you're sick, take care of yourself, because otherwise you're just gonna get worse and worse. That's what I did. Like, the first couple times I got sick, I was like, no, it's okay, I really need to go to class, and then I would just, like, stay sick for, like, a week. There was literally a point where, like, I literally couldn't leave bed, so then obviously I didn't go to class, but it just, because I worked myself so hard, I got to the point where I was literally bedridden, and I've never been like that before. It was terrible. The point is, take care of yourself. There is such thing as a sick day. Goodness gracious, that's just ridiculous. Like, no, bad advice. I'm sorry. If you're going to school and you're sick or you need sleep, you know, don't make a habit of it, but if you really need it, skip class. It's very important. So yeah, I put off my homework. It stressed me out, and the stress made me get sick, and then it was a vicious cycle of me having to miss class, which made me have to do makeup work, and it just got even worse. So, the second time I had that class, which was actually technically my junior year, or not, I didn't take the class twice, the second time I had that teacher, and it was a very similar class setup, lots of group projects and lots of really long homework assignments, and the same teacher. I had a new strategy, and that was, when she assigns the homework, do it that night, or do it like at least 2 or 3 nights in advance. You know, in college you have like Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes and Tuesday, Thursday classes. This was a Tuesday, Thursday class, so I would not do the homework on Monday night or Wednesday night like I normally would the previous semester. That's what I did a lot. No, this semester I would start the homework on Tuesday night or Thursday night. Maybe not necessarily like the day she assigned it, but like I knew that I would at least have another day to get ahead. You know, it was Tuesday, Thursday homework, but I would do it with my Monday, Wednesday, Friday homework and like get ahead. I don't know if that's a very good explanation, but basically I got ahead on the homework and I stayed on top of my schedule stuff. Yeah, some nights I still got stressed, but it was very like once in a blue moon. I think there was one night where I was like really stressed to the point of like tears. I wasn't like bawling or anything, but I was like kind of tearing up. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. And I looked at Eric and I was like, this is the first time this semester that I've actually been this stressed. Like, remember last semester when it was way worse? And he was like, yeah, this is like actually pretty good. And that was like my positive way of looking at myself like crying. And then just in general, it was so much better because I stayed on top of my homework, so I wasn't very stressed. So then I stayed moderately healthy, and I think I attended every single class of hers. I had really good attendance, and I'm not gonna lie, that probably helped my grade a lot, and that's probably partially how I got an A. And another thing that helped, and if you can manage to do this within the span of one semester, definitely do it. But like basically by the time I hit that second semester of the class, I had a bunch of friends from the first semester, so if I was ever unsure of something, I'd be like, hey, what did you get for number 40? I'm having trouble with it or something. She's not the teacher that you can get away with, like, copying, but you can at least ask, like, what page is it on? Where did you find it? Do you know, like, what it means in English? Sometimes in Spanish, I would just be like, okay, literally, I can't find what this word means. Just tell me what it means. I wasn't a very social person, so that was probably why it was hard for me in my first semester, but by the second semester, I was like, I know you, I know you, I know you, I'm gonna text all of you and we're gonna find out the answers to these. I think some of them even had like study groups. Study groups aren't my thing, I get distracted. But it's very important to have friends, stay on top of your homework, and don't get too stressed because otherwise you will get super sick and you will hate your life. If you do get super sick, just take a break. Seriously, you can talk to your teacher and say like, I need to turn this in late, and maybe she'll cut you some slack. Try to make an honest effort on all your homework, and if you do that, she'll know that you're being honest when you say that you're sick. And yeah, so I wound up getting an A in that class, and I think that a lot of the changes that I made helped a lot. Sometimes they're just really, really hard classes that are required for your major and you just have to get through them. For me, and I think this is how it is for a lot of other people, I just had like that year of miserable classes and now it's like really looking good for the rest of the year. This last semester of my junior year was like, boom, not hard at all, got straight A's, I was rocking it. And then this next semester that I have, I'm only going to be taking 15 hours, which is maybe a lot for some people, but that's very little for me. I'm going to be able to work a lot, and I'm going to be done like earlier in the day, so I'm going to have a lot of time at night to do my homework, which is good because I'm a night owl. Yeah, and I think the last semester of my senior year is going to be even better. So another thing that you can do is just look at the light at the end of the tunnel, which is definitely something that I was doing. I was like, once I get out of these classes, it's all gonna be so much easier. So yeah, those are my tips on how to get over your like peak of college difficulty-ness. Whatever year it is for you. I think most people it's definitely junior year. If you guys have any more, let me know in the comments. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm putting out videos every day this month. Follow me on social media. All my links are in the description. And yep, that's it. VEDJ out.